The WWE Universe has been rocked to its very core, and what I'm about to reveal will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about one of SmackDown's most beloved superstars. For weeks, whispers have been circulating backstage, cryptic social media posts have been analyzed frame by frame, and now the truth is finally coming to light in the most explosive way possible. Naomi, the woman who has captivated audiences with her electrifying entrance and undeniable charisma, may be hiding the biggest secret of her career, and it's about to change the landscape of women's wrestling forever. But before we dive into this earth-shattering revelation, I need you to understand the magnitude of what's happening here. This isn't just another wrestling storyline or backstage drama. This is a real-life situation that could completely reshape Naomi's future, impact major championship storylines, and send shockwaves through every corner of sports entertainment. The implications are so massive that WWE executives are reportedly in panic mode, scrambling to rewrite months of carefully planned television. What makes this situation even more infuriating is how the wrestling media has been treating these rumors. Major outlets have been sitting on this story for weeks, refusing to ask the hard questions, scared to rock the boat with WWE management. They've been feeding you sanitized, corporate-approved content while the real story has been developing right under our noses. Well, I'm not afraid to tell you the truth, even if it means burning bridges and making enemies in the process. The evidence has been mounting for months, and it's been hidden in plain sight. Naomi's recent in-ring performances have been noticeably different. Her signature high-flying moves have been toned down, her matches have been shorter, and her interactions with other superstars have taken on a completely different dynamic. Wrestling insiders who I've spoken to, and I'm talking about people with direct access to backstage areas, have been whispering about mysterious doctor visits, schedule changes, and hushed conversations in catering areas. But what's even more shocking is how WWE has been handling this situation behind the scenes. Sources close to the company have revealed that there have been heated discussions in Stamford about contingency plans, backup storylines, and how to protect their investment in one of their most marketable female performers. The level of secrecy surrounding this situation has been unprecedented, with NDAs being thrown around like confetti and people being threatened with termination for even mentioning what they've observed. Let me paint you a picture of just how deep this conspiracy goes. Naomi's husband, Jey Uso, has been acting completely different in recent weeks. His usual jovial demeanor has been replaced with a protective, almost guarded attitude. Fellow wrestlers have noticed that he's been more territorial about who gets close to his wife, and there have been multiple instances backstage where he's intervened in conversations that were getting too personal. This isn't the behavior of a man who's just protective, this is the behavior of someone who's guarding a massive secret. The social media clues have been there all along, but the wrestling community has been too blind to see them. Naomi's Instagram posts have undergone a subtle but significant transformation. Gone are the full-body shots that showcased her incredible physique. Instead, we've been getting carefully cropped photos, strategic camera angles, and poses that seem designed to hide rather than reveal. Her recent posts about new beginnings and exciting changes weren't just generic motivational content, they were breadcrumbs leading to this monumental revelation. What makes this situation even more controversial is the timing. WWE is in the middle of one of the most competitive periods in recent memory, with AEW breathing down their necks and other promotions gaining momentum worldwide. The women's division has never been more important to their business model, and losing a star of Naomi's caliber, even temporarily, could have catastrophic effects on their programming and revenue streams. The wrestling industry has always been notorious for its treatment of female performers during major life events. We've seen countless examples of women being pushed aside, having their storylines abruptly ended, or being written off television in embarrassing fashion when personal circumstances arise. The question that's burning through the wrestling community right now is whether WWE has learned from these past mistakes or if they're about to repeat the same destructive patterns that have damaged careers and alienated fans for decades. Industry veterans who have witnessed similar situations are already drawing comparisons to other high-profile cases where WWE mishandled delicate personal matters. The whispers in locker rooms across the country suggest that many performers are watching this situation closely, knowing that how WWE handles this could set a precedent for how the company treats its talent in the future. The stakes couldn't be higher, and the pressure on WWE management to get this right is immense. But here's where things get really infuriating for longtime fans. Naomi has been criminally underutilized for years, despite having all the tools necessary to be a top-tier performer. Her athletic ability is undeniable, her connection with the audience is genuine, and her marketability extends far beyond the traditional wrestling demographic. Just when it seemed like WWE might finally be ready to give her the push she deserves, this situation emerges to potentially derail everything. The backstage politics surrounding this revelation have been absolutely toxic. Sources within WWE have described an atmosphere of paranoia and mistrust, with different factions within the company pushing various agendas. Some executives reportedly see this as an opportunity to reshape the women's division around different performers, while others view it as a crisis that needs to be managed with extreme care to avoid negative publicity. What's particularly galling is how certain wrestling personalities have been positioning themselves to capitalize on this situation. Social media influencers and YouTube channels have been dropping hints and teasing exclusive information, all while claiming to have the inside scoop on what's really happening. The truth is, most of these people are just as much in the dark as everyone else, but they're willing to exploit the situation for clicks and views. The financial implications of this revelation cannot be understated. Naomi's merchandise sales have been consistently strong, her social media engagement rates are among the highest in the women's division, and her crossover appeal has made her valuable for WWE's mainstream marketing efforts. If these rumors prove to be true, WWE will need to completely recalculate their revenue projections and adjust their marketing strategies accordingly. From a creative standpoint, this situation presents both challenges and opportunities for WWE's writing team. Naomi has been involved in several ongoing storylines that would need to be drastically altered or completely scrapped. The ripple effects would impact multiple performers, potentially derailing months of character development and narrative building. However, it also opens up possibilities for fresh storylines and character dynamics that could revitalize the women's division. The fan reaction to these rumors has been a fascinating study in the psychology of wrestling fandom. Some supporters have been fiercely protective, attacking anyone who dares to speculate about Naomi's personal life. Others have been demanding transparency, arguing that fans deserve to know the truth about performers they invest their time and money in following. The divide has created some of the most heated debates in wrestling social media circles in recent memory. What makes this situation even more explosive is the potential impact on WWE's relationship with their broadcast partners. Television executives are notoriously nervous about unpredictable scheduling changes, and losing a featured performer unexpectedly can create programming headaches that extend far beyond the wrestling world. The pressure from network partners to maintain consistent programming could force WWE's hand in ways that might not be in anyone's best interest. The international implications of this story are also worth considering. Naomi has been a key figure in WWE's efforts to expand their global audience, particularly in markets where diverse representation is crucial for audience engagement. Her potential absence from television could impact WWE's international growth strategies and affect their ability to connect with audiences in key demographic markets. Behind the scenes, the legal implications of this situation have WWE's corporate lawyers working overtime. Questions about contract obligations, insurance coverage, and liability issues have created a complex web of legal considerations that could influence every decision moving forward. The company's response to this situation will likely be shaped as much by legal advice as by creative or business considerations. The medical aspects of this story have also raised important questions about WWE's support systems for their performers. The company has made significant investments in their medical and wellness programs in recent years, but situations like this test the effectiveness of these initiatives in real-world scenarios. How WWE handles the health and safety aspects of this situation could become a benchmark for the entire sports entertainment industry. What's particularly frustrating for fans who have followed Naomi's career is the timing of these revelations in relation to her recent character development. She had been building momentum as a performer, connecting with audiences in ways that suggested she was ready for a major push. The potential interruption of this trajectory represents not just a personal challenge for Naomi, but a missed opportunity for WWE to capitalize on a performer who was hitting her creative stride. The psychological impact on Naomi herself cannot be overlooked in all of this speculation and controversy. Professional wrestlers are already under enormous pressure to perform at the highest level while dealing with the physical demands of their profession. Adding personal life challenges and intense media scrutiny to this equation creates a pressure cooker environment that could have serious consequences for her well-being. Industry analysts have been quick to point out that this situation highlights broader issues within the wrestling industry regarding work-life balance and the treatment of performers during significant life events. The conversation has extended beyond just this individual case to encompass systemic questions about how sports entertainment companies support their talent through major personal milestones. The technological age has made situations like this more complex than they would have been in previous eras of wrestling. Social media scrutiny, instant communication, and the 24/7 news cycle mean that every aspect of this story is being analyzed and dissected in real time. The pressure to respond quickly and appropriately has never been greater for WWE management. What makes this entire situation even more controversial is how it reflects the ongoing evolution of women's roles in professional wrestling. The industry has made significant strides in recent years toward treating female performers as equals to their male counterparts, but situations like this test whether that progress is genuine or merely superficial. How WWE handles this case could either reinforce positive changes or reveal that old attitudes still persist behind the scenes. The economic ripple effects of this story extend throughout the wrestling ecosystem. Independent promoters, merchandise vendors, fan convention organizers, and countless other businesses that depend on wrestling's popularity are all potentially affected by major changes to WWE's roster and programming. The interconnected nature of the wrestling industry means that seemingly individual situations can have widespread consequences. Looking at this situation from a historical perspective, professional wrestling has always been at its most interesting during periods of uncertainty and change. Some of the industry's most memorable moments have emerged from real-life situations that forced creative teams to think outside their normal parameters. While this presents challenges for WWE, it also offers opportunities for innovative storytelling and character development. The generational aspects of this story are also worth examining. Naomi represents a bridge between different eras of women's wrestling, having worked with legendary performers while also connecting with younger audiences. Her potential absence from television would create a gap that might be difficult to fill, particularly given the unique combination of skills and personality traits that she brings to her performances. What's most infuriating about this entire situation is how it demonstrates the fragility of wrestling careers and storylines. Years of character development, relationship building with audiences, and creative momentum can be instantly disrupted by real-life circumstances. This reality check serves as a reminder of the human elements behind the scripted entertainment that fans consume on a weekly basis. The international wrestling community has been watching this story develop with intense interest, as it represents a test case for how major promotions handle sensitive personal situations in the modern era. The response from WWE could influence how other companies around the world approach similar circumstances with their own performers. As this story continues to unfold, the wrestling world finds itself at a crossroads between respecting personal privacy and satisfying the curiosity of an invested fanbase. The balance between these competing interests will likely define how this situation is ultimately resolved and what precedents it sets for future circumstances. The truth about Naomi's situation represents more than just another wrestling story. It's a reflection of the ongoing evolution of sports entertainment as an industry and the complex challenges faced by performers who must navigate public careers while dealing with private personal matters. Whatever the ultimate outcome, this situation will undoubtedly leave a lasting impact on how the wrestling world approaches similar circumstances in the future. The wrestling community now waits with bated breath for official confirmation or denial of these explosive rumors, knowing that either outcome will have significant implications for one of the industry's most talented and beloved performers. The next few weeks promise to be some of the most dramatic in recent wrestling memory, as the truth finally comes to light about one of WWE's biggest kept secrets.